Hi there, this is Art and Such with a tutorial on how to make a twisted tube bracelet using the Style Me Up wheel bracelet maker. And I've got a bit of an overview on this wheel in my last tutorial about the flower bracelet. For this particular pattern, we're going to be using the green side. And if you're making your own, you'll want to mark off 2 of each color, going like opposite to each other. And in total we're going to have 4 colors and 4 strands of each color. But what you can do if you'd like, what I've done is I've cut twice the length, which I'll give you in a minute, and I'm going to fold them over and make a knot. So the suggested length for this pattern is 29 inches or 74, wrong one, let's check that again. 21 inches or 53 centimeters for each strand. But as I said, I've cut mine to double the length so that I have 2 of each, and when I fold it over I will have 4 of each. So here is my end. And the beauty of this is that I'm also going to have a pretty little loop. So we're going to take the loop or your top strands, and you're going to wrap it around your finger, bring the top through the bottom. This will be the same whether you have a loop or not. You're just going to secure this. Try and get it nice and even. And I'm going to tug some of these threads down to get rid of these loose bumpy parts. Now if you want, you can anchor this down for the first while, and if you want, you can make a braid before you launch into the pattern. Some of you might find that this takes a while to do and you'd like to use up some of the bracelet space on a braid instead, and that's fine. It also looks really nice, but I'm going to show you how to do just the pattern itself. Okay, so this is going to go into the middle of the wheel. We're going to hold it at the back and just kind of pinch it here, and you're going to set up your colors to correspond with the placements on the side. So as it happens, my colors are pretty close to the ones on the wheel this time. So I'm taking 2 of my light green and I'm going to place them as close as I can to being on top of my semicircle. I'm going to move these a little to the right, and I'm going to stagger all the rest a little to the right as well. I'm going to put my darker purple, or my purple on the purple. As I said, if you'd like, you can anchor. That might make this easier for you in the start. My pink can go in the light purple. If you've used different colors, that's fine, just as long as you have 4 strands of each and you're matching them up opposite to each other. Put the green on the green. And you can see each of these sets is just a little bit over to the side, staggered in the same direction, as I say. And we're almost ready. We're about half of them on. This might take a little bit of time because you want to make sure your threads aren't too tangled here. And some of them might want to do a little tangling before you've got them in place. Okay. So all of your strands are in. They're in firmly, but not so tight that they're digging. I'm just shifting this to the middle and pulling the sides out tighter again. Okay, we are ready to start. So just as in the flower bracelet, what you're going to be doing is looking for opposite sides, and that will tell you where to bring your threads. So I'm going to start where it says Style Me Up at the top, and you can make a mark or a notch there if you want to remember that top spot. I'll hold on to my little loop at the back. And now I'm going to go to my top space, take the piece that's on the right, and pull it straight down so that it's on the right side of my other two greens. Now I have one on top, 3 on the bottom, and if you lose your place, you can always look to see if you have this imbalance somewhere. You're gonna go from the one that you placed on the bottom, count 2 to the left, and bring that third piece up to the left of your original set here. Now we turn it over and we're gonna go do the same with the next one, our salmony pink. So take the piece that's on the right, bring it straight down so it's on the right of the other two pink. Go over twice and bring that left one up and to the left. I'll do it slowly one more time and then we'll kind of get moving here. So right piece, bring it straight down to the right, and the next one is coming up from the left of that set and going up straight to the left. And this is all that we do, and we're going to keep doing it. I'll do a few more with you until we see our pattern emerge. Maybe I can add in a couple of pointers for you, and then we'll kind of pause the video and finish these, and then come back to finish them off together. So first pointer here, as you're pulling your threads, every now and again you want to pull the whole thread up and separate from the rest, and that will keep your threads from getting tangled. So I can do this, I can just bring this straight up and pull it to the back, but sometimes what you want to do is take the whole piece all the way out, pull it so it's loose, and then bring it down, and that kind of keeps them separate. Next tip is if you want a good starting ending place to kind of finish a loop or a lap, maybe you're like me and this is hard to put down, a good place to go to is your starting point. So if I want, I can always end it here, and when I put it down I can pick it up and go right from the set closest to that. And if you find this is confusing, like your pieces are going to move around, so if you feel the need on occasion, you can always take each set and move it over to the left one or to the right one until it's back on a semicircle. But you don't really need to unless you're getting confused. And I'd be curious to know, I think I'll try this later. I don't know what would happen if you pulled down the left first and then brought up the right. I think we might get a diagonal that goes in the opposite direction, but I haven't tried it yet, so I'd be curious to know if any of you do that at home. Let me know, and if I get around to it, and I'll make a little note here in the video. Now if you've been using an anchor at this point, if you have this pinned to something or tied to something, you might find, as I did, that it's kind of getting in the way. Because you're having to pull things around it and reach around it and whatnot, and twist your wheel too. If it's anchored down, it's going to be hard to turn. So I'll assure you, unless you're yanking your pieces off, you should be okay to remove it from the anchor at this point. It's a lot easier to move this around then. Now another thing you can do if you put this down or you drop a piece off and you've lost your place, you forget which one you're supposed to loop next or lift. I'm so used to rainbow loom. You forget which one to move next. What you can do is look right at the center and you'll see there are kind of two top ones. Two threads that sit on top of all the rest, and they're going to be going in opposite directions. So here you can see there's a pink at the bottom, a pink sitting at the bottom, then you have a pink going over and a pink going up and over. And if I do my next one, you're going to see now that greeny color is coming up and over on the side. And so if ever you're lost, you can look to the middle and see which ones are kind of on top. Now this does take a while to do, but as you might be finding, it doesn't take too much energy once you get going, because you're doing the same thing each time you go around, and it does get to go pretty quickly once you're moving. So I'm just going to stop for a second and have a quick glance. We have the very start of the pattern starting. I'm going to do a couple more rounds just to see. So again, I'm seeing my pink is on top. I'm going to go from there. I'll just give you an idea of how this is going to look, and then I'll get you to pause the video, and I'll pause my video making, and we can each finish doing this to the length that we want, and come back from there. I'll show you how to tie this off. It's pretty straightforward, really, but it'll take a couple minutes and go over it all the same. I think I will reiterate a note that I said on my first wheel bracelet video, which is that this isn't the only kind of loom you can get. Hopefully you can find one of these because they're really, really cool. But there's a brand, Alex Toys, that they sell a very popular wheel I've seen about. You could make when you're by yourself. I think there are some good DIY tutorials on how to make a bracelet wheel. Yeah, look around, see what you can find. I picked this one up secondhand, and that's really awesome. So you never know. I haven't done too much with looms in my life. I've done a little bit just straight weaving. I've worked with beading looms, but this one's kind of different. Oh, and rainbow looms, of course. Well, this one's a little bit different. It's neat. It's a very fluid kind of thing, and you move it in a circle, and you're getting this really cool tube when you're done. Okay, so you can sort of see the start of that stripe, and I'm going to pause this for a little bit, and when I come back this will be a whole lot longer and we can finish it off together. So when you have your bracelet, as long as you want it to be, and for a bracelet I'd suggest that you just check it that it fits around your wrist properly. What we're going to do is hold on at the back and slowly take the pieces off the side. It doesn't matter which order you take them off in. It doesn't matter where you ended your bracelet coming around the loom. We're just going to pull these off now. And slide your piece through. And we need to make another knot to secure it. So wrap your end around your finger. Bring it under, and this is going to come on top and through the threads that are wrapped on your finger. I'm actually going to pull this up a little bit behind the bracelet so that when I slide it down, it's going to cover everything. So slide it down, kind of going to press it down and press it up until it's sitting just under the woven sections. You can cut it as long or as short as you want. If you want to make a braid at this point, you can. If you had one at the beginning, you can do one of an equal size there. And that is that. Just one other note before we move on here. I'm going to make one more of these videos to show you with the bracelet wheel. And this isn't going to be in a video, but for those of you who are interested, if you look on your wheel and you put a different colored thread on each piece, what you end up with is something that looks a little bit like this. So that's another option, and you would weave it the same way as you did this one, as you did the flower one. So as I said, I'm going to try and make one more video for you, and in that last video I'll show you how to make a kind of a diamond piece, which is really cool. So that is that, and I thank you very much for watching.